Alright, so right off the bat, can you tell me which one is the real pistol? The one on the left or the one on the right? Well, if you said the one on the left, you would be incorrect, because this is the Airsoft. As you can see, the similarities. I mean, obviously this is a licensed Smith & Wesson copy for Airsoft. So it's got all the markings, it's even got the caution capable of firing with magazine removed, and the fake serial number plate where it would normally be if this wasn't covered up by the laser. But yeah, as you can see, I mean, they look dead on. If I was to remove this orange tip, I mean, just looking at these, you probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference. I mean, sure, the real M&P looks a little bit nicer. Once you pick them up, you can definitely tell from the weight. Although, the weight is comparable. I mean, this has an all-metal slide. With the magazine out, I'll show you that is clear. With the magazine out and the Airsoft magazine in, they are pretty close to the same weight. Now this one is probably still a little bit lighter, but I was actually surprised at how close they are in weight. You know, I expected this thing just to be super light. But yes, even the magazines are very similar. You can see it's got the same markings. It's even got the same little grip extension. Now, I bought an extra Airsoft magazine for this gun, and I kind of wish I could take the floor plate off, because one of my real mags, you know, doesn't have that. So I kind of like to have one of each, just like I do with my real mags. Now, whether or not I can take this off, I'm not sure. You know, this is my first venture into Airsoft, guys, so, you know, if I give out any wrong information or anything like that, you know, feel free to correct me. But, yeah, I've never bought an Airsoft gun before, so this is my first venture into the Airsoft world. I will tell you this, I definitely had to make sure everything was lubed up correctly on the Airsoft gun when I got it. There's lots of little O-rings in different places and stuff like that, and the gun was a little finicky until I got it lubed up the way it should be. And there's actually oil for the propane that you put in it. And but we'll go into that here in a few minutes. Let's go ahead and disassemble these so that you can see how similar they are when you disassemble them. So here's the real M&P. All you do to disassemble this is slide back and lock it. Turn down your barrel retaining pin. Release the slide. Pull the trigger. Pull the slide off. Then you've got your spring, your barrel, and your slide. It's just a basic takedown. Let's see how the Airsoft comes apart. Well, for the Airsoft, lock the slide back, turn the barrel retainer down, pull the trigger, and pull it off that, just like the real gun. It even breaks down like the real gun. You've got your spring, you got your barrel assembly, you've got your slide. I mean, that's pretty awesome, guys. I think that's pretty cool. I mean, you can even almost train on disassembling this thing with the Airsoft version. I mean, obviously, you know, there's some differences. You see there's some differences in the way it operates in here. In your lower, but I mean, even the trigger operates similar. Your slide retainer looks almost identical. You know, obviously the firing mechanism and stuff like that's going to be a little bit different, but you've got your chassis, rail chassis here. I mean, I'm really impressed. I mean, it's really kind of cool how similar they make these things. Now, obviously, there's going to be some differences in the slide and stuff like that. That operates a little bit differently because you're running off of gas. It's not a blowback firearm, so. The sights I had to install on the slide myself, but this has Trigicon night sights on it. But you can see, even the sights are similar. Let's go ahead and put it back together. But yeah, man, I've been having a blast with this thing. You shoot it in the backyard without the neighbors flipping out. It's really, really cool. There we go, it goes back together. Put the real one back together. Now, why would you want to practice with Airsoft instead of a real gun? Well, the obvious reasons. Can you get away with shooting a gun in your backyard? Some people can, some can't. Depends where you live. Even though I live out in the country, I have neighbors, and I don't think they'd appreciate me shooting off my guns all the time. You know, I don't feel that we're far enough away from other people to do that safely, so I wouldn't want to take the risk of doing it, even though I could probably get away with it. And this thing actually, this is a propane operated gas blowback, and so when you fire the round, the 6mm BB, it actually recoils. Now, does it have as much recoil as a real thing? Obviously not. Definitely takes you by surprise the first couple times you shoot it. From watching videos about this gun, you know, I thought, oh, well, that thing's got barely any recoil. Is it even going to be worth it, you know, to have the gas blowback? But definitely surprised. And it's definitely a better option, in my opinion, than trying to shoot wax slugs, which have no recoil. Or, I'm sorry, wax slugs, wax bullets. But, let me see, I've got this little tool here so that I can dry fire it. I'll go ahead and show. Yeah, so basically, this is where your BBs go. And just drop that in there like that. That gives you the ability to dry fire it. We'll go ahead and charge this mag. Yeah, so there it is, you can see. May not look like much, but man, and it doesn't, you know, it's nowhere near the recoil of a real gun, but definitely knocks you off target to where you have to reacquire your sight picture. Now, other cool thing about this, on last round, You got a bolt hold open. Alright, just like the real thing. So you drop your mag, put in another mag, charge your weapon, fire till it's empty. Your bolt holds open on the last round. It's freaking cool. I think that's freaking cool, man. So, basically for this propane gun, there's a couple things that you need. You can buy one of these propane adapters for like 10 or 15 bucks. This one is plastic, and it came with an extra plastic nozzle here so that you can, you know, buy these Coleman Fuel propane cans and go to town with them. I don't know how many refills this will give you, but I imagine it's quite a few. It's definitely cheaper than buying, you know, the propane, the like spray cans of propane or whatever for like the refillable lighters and stuff like that. So if you're going to get one of these, definitely go for the propane adapter. And this is the one I got. It's Airsoft Innovations Gun Gas Propane Adapter Kit. Now the cool thing about the kit is it comes with this silicone oil. Basically what you do before about every 10 mags or so, you'll drop a couple drops in your canister there. Put your adapter back on, then fill your mags. Wait about 5 seconds. What that does is that propane will dry out your O-rings and stuff like that, so you want to put a little bit of oil in there. They recommend the silicone oil. There's different types, I guess. That's why I went ahead and bought the kit, because I wasn't sure exactly what I needed, this being my first time buying some airsoft stuff. Now, so I mean, that's a really cool thing, you know, that I'll just go ahead and show you how you load the BBs up. So you can load the BBs just like this. These mags hold 14 rounds. The real gun holds 12, so I just go ahead and load them up with 12 and practice like that, so that I'm used to there being 12 rounds in there. So I mean, that's really cool. You know, you got 12 shots, just like you do in this real mag. You know, the propane is contained inside of the mag, so this gun will not fire without the magazine. Well, it'll, you know. So, I mean, it operates just like the real thing, guys. Now they are a little bit more finicky than a real gun. Has been my experience so far. But like anything, as long as you take care of it, it should work for you. Another reason you might be interested in trying out airsoft is the cost of ammo. Alright, so if you want to shoot, you know, you want to go into the range and shoot 9mm, practice with your gun for the day. Okay, well, you know, 9mm, you can get around 50 rounds for maybe around 15 bucks, right? Somewhere between there, 10, 15 bucks. Alright, so you're going to shoot maybe 150, 200 rounds. You know, so that's going to cost you anywhere from $40 on up. So here's a bottle of 7,000 airsoft BBs. You know how much these cost me? $10. That's 7,000 BBs. So you do the math. Another thing I was impressed with was the trigger pull on the real gun versus the airsoft. Now, obviously the real gun has a little bit heavier trigger pull. But the airsoft, the take-up is almost exactly the same. Your brake is almost at the exact same point. So even though the trigger is a little bit lighter, it feels like the same trigger, which I was really impressed with. I expected the trigger to be mushy, and I expected it not to be consistent with the actual firearm at all. So that was a pleasant surprise as well.